Alright guys, a quick run through for 5-7, completing the square. Oh, if I can get the cat off. Okay, couple of things to let you know about. First of all, on the answer key, you're going to find that there is, if you got a copy of the answer key, you're going to find a disconnect with some of the answers, starting with number 32 on the answer key. If you look at it, you will realize that our problems, there's 42 problems, but on the answer key it only shows 39 problems. That is because for some reason they left off numbers 32, 33, and 34 off the answer key for the answers for them, and then misnumbered the rest of them. So all the more reason why we didn't do number 33. That's great. So starting on your answer key, number 33 would be problem number 33. The answer is for 32 on your answer key. Or not 33. Let me see what number that was. 35. Number 35 on your homework problems is 32 on your answer key. Yeah, it's messed up. But I think that we've got some things solved out for you. So that it can help you. Alright, let's take a look at some of these problems really quickly. I'm going to try to go through this quick because it is almost 11. I had some unexpected stuff come up. I know that seems like a daily occurrence, but yeah, such is my life. So here we go. Let's try that again. Quit, cat. Okay. Problem number 1. And I did 3 problems on the first section. And you were supposed to solve the equation by finding the square root. Number 1, 3x squared equaled 75. We divided by 3. Got x squared equaled 25, took the square root, and x was equal to plus or minus 5. Number 3, we have 4x squared minus 49 equals 0. We move the 49 over, divide by 4. So x squared was 49 over 4, or the square root of 49 over the square root of 4. So x was plus or minus 7 over 2, or plus or minus 3.5. Number 7 is a word problem. And they said you had a box with a height of 4 inches. A length is 1.5 times the width. So, and then it gave us a volume of 1,350. That should be cubic inches, not square inches. So we've got length times width times height.
I've been trying to call.
Okay, so length times width times height equals volume. So 1.5x for the length times x for the height, the width, times 4 inches for the height was 1,350. That gave you a 6x squared was 1,350 divided by 6. Gives you x squared is equal to 225. The square root of that is x is plus or minus 15. Now we know that width, or that in real life width or length is always positive. So our width is 15, and then 1.5 times that for your length is 22.5. Alright, next section, number 9, solve each equation. We have x squared minus 10x plus 25 equals 144. And we're going to break that trinomial down into its binomial squared, which was taking the square root of x squared to get x, taking the square root of 25 to get 5. Our sign was a minus sign, so we put that for the sign of our binomial, equaled 144. We took the square root of both of those. We ended up with x minus 5 was plus or minus 12. We split that out into two equations. X minus 5 equals 12, and x minus 5 was negative 12. We add 5 to both sides on both equations and then solve for x, and we got x was 17 and negative 7. Gonna do the same thing with number 13. We have 25x squared minus 30x plus 9 equals 81. Break that down into the binomial. We have 5x minus 3 squared is 81. The square root of those is 5x minus 3 is plus or minus 9. Split that out into two equations and solve for x. Add 3 to both sides on both equations. 5x is 12, or 5x is negative 6. Divide by 5. And we have 5 is, if you want to put it into decimals, we can do 2.4 and negative 1.2. Or you can leave it as the fractions 12/5 and negative 6/5. On the next section, we are completing the squares. Okay, number 15 is x squared minus 30x plus a number. And remember, we used negative b over 2 squared. So x squared minus 30x plus negative 30 over 2 squared. So that's negative 15 squared, which negative 15 squared is plus 225. So the number 225 completed our square. Number 19, 4x squared minus 12x plus a number. Remember, a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. A is the square root of 4x squared, which is 2x. We don't know what b is, and then we've got that multiplied by 2. So negative 12x is equal to 2 times 2x times b. Divide that by the 2x to have 2 times b. That's negative 6 over negative 6 is equal to 2b. Divide that by 2, you get negative 3 is equal to b. Negative 3 squared is b squared. So 9 is equal to b squared. So we can complete the square using 9. Ask me about that one in the morning, and I'll go over that with you to make sure everybody understood that one. Alright, the next one we did. We are solving each quadratic equation by completing the square. We have number 21, x squared plus 2x minus 7 equals 0. We move the 7 over. So we have x squared plus 2x. Remember, we are adding b over 2 squared to both sides. B over 2 is 2 over 2 squared. Add that to both sides. 2 over 2 is 1. 1 squared is just 1. So x squared plus 2x plus 1 is equal to 7 plus 1. Break that down into a binomial. My sign is plus. My a is x. My b is 1. Equals 8. So, that was squared. take the square root. So x plus 1 is plus or minus the square root of 8. Subtract 1 from both sides, and x is negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 8. Number 23. X squared plus 5x equals 3x plus 11. We need to get those x's on the same side, so we'll subtract 3x from both sides. Gives us x squared plus 2x equals 11. Again, we take the b over 2 squared. So, x squared plus 2x plus 11. I tried that again. Okay, I just got back. Sorry, I had a break there. I just got back. I'm needing to get this done. I'm just going to let this play through ever so quickly. Pause it as you need to. Okay. And there's number 23. Here's 29. This one is writing in vertex form. Alright. Number 31, again written in vertex form. This one you had to factor out the 2 first, and then move the 1 from inside the parentheses over to complete the square. Now this one is, if you look at the answer key, it comes out, I think it says minus 5 halves. It's not 5 halves. It's supposed to be, or plus 5 halves. It's supposed to be minus 5 fourths. That was another Pearson oops, along with the leaving out the 3 answers that threw off the answer keys, the numbering on the answer key. Here's number 35. Like I say, this one on the answer key would show up as number 32. This one you were just solving for the k. Okay, remember kx, that would be essentially 2 times b would be the k. Pause this as you need to. Okay. Number 41 is the last one we'll do. And let me explain as we go along. Let me slow this down. Okay. First, we have the negative 0.2 t squared plus 1.6 t. We want to divide by the negative 0.2 t. We have to take the negative b over 2 squared and add it to both sides. Okay, we do that to get it to where, keep it balanced, remember? Okay, that gives us p plus 16 is equal to negative 0.2 t squared minus 8t plus 16. Then to give the answer to completing the square, once you've completed the square, we redistribute the negative 0.2, and that gives us negative 0.2 t squared plus 1.6 t minus 3.2. We're also going to distribute that negative 0.2 to the 16 on the p side, because I can't say that I added 16 to one side and 0.32 to the other side. So that's why I have to make them balance out by distributing that negative 0.2 to the other side as well. Oh, wait a minute. I think I just realized that I did something. Oh, I did. I just realized something that I did here. Let me pause this. Okay. Go back. Negative. Let's take this. Let's do a different color. Let's use purple. Okay. Negative 0.2 times the 16 would be P minus 3.2. So I would add 3.2 to both sides. So B is P equals negative 0.2 times T minus 4 squared plus 3.2. Okay. Now, let's go on. C wanted to know a reasonable domain. Remember that time can't be in negative numbers, so 0 is going to be the lowest on our domain. And then if we go up to 8, if we put 8 in for t or for x, we end up with p is equal to 0. And so at x equals 8 or t equals 8, the pressure is at 0. And then it asked for the maximum pressure and in how many minutes. We would find that at our vertex. So in 4 minutes we would see a maximum pressure of 3.2 pounds per square inch. Alrighty, and that's gonna do it. I'm gonna get finished with this and post it. Y'all have a good night. See you in the morning. Sorry this is so late.